Hello, this is Sean with Blade Mate Lawn Care, and this video is to celebrate this channel achieving the 100,000 subscriber milestone. So huge thanks to all of you. I'm overwhelmed, honestly. Yeah, I never thought this channel would achieve 1,000 subscribers, let alone 100,000. Like, this is honestly, it's a big achievement, and I'm proud. I'll allow myself that. I feel a lot of pride at this achievement. However, the first thing I need to do is acknowledge everybody who follows the channel, because it's not my achievement alone. It wasn't me that hit subscribe 100,000 times. It was all of you fantastic people who have supported me on this journey. Special thanks to everybody who contributes financially to my work. This is through Patreon or using the Buy Me a Coffee app. What your contributions are paramount to assisting me with my overheads for a lot of the jobs I do. Sometimes I spend upwards of $150 alone just on dumping fees, tip fees, removing green waste. Sometimes the YouTube revenue, I earn a bit more, I break even, or I earn a little bit less. Usually the Patreon kind of brings me back up around the point that I need to be in order to continue to do the work that I do. Now, almost without exception, the people whose yards I do this work for have something, either physically, mentally, financially. There is a hindrance. There's something stopping them doing it themselves, and they just need help. It's kind of like they're just alone in the world. They might have family and all that. That's not what I mean when I say alone, but they just have no support, and this sort of thing, it's gotten away from them. So thanks to, again, all of you ladies, gents that watch this channel. I'm able to go and provide that work for them and not have to charge them. Now, a couple of weeks ago, or when this channel was inching up on 100,000 subscribers, I put out a call to you guys in the community section, the community tab on the Blade Mate Lawn Care YouTube channel, and just said, hey, got any questions for me? We're gonna do a Q&A, and here we are. So I put it out there. If you guys had any questions you wanted to ask of me, be it about my personal life, family, my business, etc., whatever it is, I'll endeavor to give you an accurate answer. So once again, thanks for everything, and here we go. So I'm just reading from the top down under that list, and I'll also answer a few questions that have popped up. So FAQs, frequently asked questions. I'll tackle some of those after this as well. So this first one, this is from Randy Hernandez. How you going, Randy? Congrats, Sean. Do you think you've changed much since you started YouTube? Absolutely, I have. Yes. For anyone who isn't familiar with my background, my channel, like the life of my channel, kind of corresponds with around the time I left the Australian Army after 14 years. So between me ending my soldiering career and now, I'm a very different person. I like to think for better. If you're going to put the for better or worse spin on it, I feel like as a human being, I've become a better person. I live with a lot of mental health issues. I do try and keep that side of it away from the channel, but there are a lot of struggles in my life that I don't really discuss on this channel. Every now and then I might talk about it, but yeah, so one of my biggest challenges in that time has just been living with, coping, treatment with mental health problems. And yeah, some of my darkest days that I've had in my life have been in this period since I've been a YouTuber. I'm not saying it has anything to do with YouTube. I'm just saying that during that time frame, yeah. So still not out of it. My doctor kind of calls it a bit of a functional plateau. I can kind of do stuff. I have my moments where I take a bit of a downwards turn and I come back up, but the plateau bit means that I'm not where I was. I used to be very high functioning mentally when I was in the army. Yeah, look, I struggle with the things that I used to let slide. So one of the things since I've left the army is having a very, very low tolerance, particularly for bullies, people who are mean for no reason, which is ironic because I'm a YouTuber and people on the internet are mean. So yeah, if you see me slap someone across the hand with a a bit of a clapback kind of comment, I assure you I've held my tongue, and that's the very, very tame version that I've let out. So the main way I've changed is definitely, I like to think I'm a more patient and understanding person and much more compassionate. So this one's from Jessica Turner. G'day Jessica, how are you? Can you do an equipment setup video, and why did you cave and get a rider? Okay, well, I'll start with the first question first. Can I do an equipment setup video? Short answer is, look, I probably won't. Well, I have no plan to, I should say. I won't say I never will, but I have no plan to, and here's why. So my equipment, it's just my equipment. It's a whippersnipper, it's a lawnmower, it's a blower, and some rakes and all that. Does it really matter? Do you guys need to look close? You can Google, a whippersnipper if you want to see what one looks like. Yeah, it's as simple as that. It's just my gear. I don't want people to fixate on my equipment. I'd rather people focus on the work that I'm doing and hopefully enjoy those videos. So yeah, that's it. And so the second part of that question, when did I cave and get a rider? Well, so yeah, for anyone new to the channel or has only subscribed since you've seen me using the ride-on mower, bit of a running joke on this channel. So I started small, and I've always preferred to use my body, exercise. My business also couldn't really justify the purchase of bigger equipment and all that. I wanted it to come organically when I was ready for it and when my business was ready for it. It's only since very recently that kind of ticked that box. So yeah, I get all these comments, work smarter, not harder, and people just some of them were very nasty. People having a go at me for using my equipment when realistically, skip to the end of any one of my videos and ask me if it really matters what sort of equipment I use to achieve that. The job got done, and that is all that matters in my eyes. But yes, I now have a riding mower. We call them ride-on mowers. Whenever I hear someone say riding mower, I usually assume they're American. So the reason I got that is because my wife, who was also a long-time soldier in the Australian Army, we met when we were young diggers many, many years ago. And yeah, she has service-related injuries and can't be on her feet all day. So in order for her to join the team, because that's what we both wanted, she can't walk around all day. So we got her a lawnmower that she can sit on, and she's absolutely kicking goals with it. Our productivity is going great. She's a pro. Yeah, everything's good. So like I said, kind of earned the right to have it now. The business is where it needs to be. And Claire was at a point where, she's very interested in joining the team, and, everything just aligned, and the time was right to finally upgrade that bit of gear. So on that note, yes, of course you're going to see me using it, because I didn't just spend $9,500 for a mower to sit on the trailer out of principle because I bought it for my wife. I'm absolutely going to use it. So this one is from M. Rose Barlow. How you going there? Does anyone else besides me have a very favourite mower or slasher that they just love to see? Now this question, I'm guessing, is aimed at the rest of the audience. So if you have a preferred piece of equipment that you like seeing out of my videos, I'd like to hear what it is. Leave that in the comments there. As for me personally, I love using whippersnippers. Doesn't matter what it is, doesn't matter how I'm using it, they're just fun. They're just fun, and I enjoy it. Hey, it's 5 o'clock somewhere. Now this one's from Greg Simpson. Hi Sean, how do you feel about everyone that's copying your free cleanup YouTube formula? So what I think Greg's referring to there is the free, obviously, a lot of lawn care channels are doing free cleanup jobs, and funding it using YouTube revenue. Now, I won't ever claim to be the first person to do a free cleanup job on YouTube. It's absolutely not the case at all. I used to watch Dan's vlog, whatever you want to say. He did a series where he was mowing lawns for free, and I don't know what he did with his revenue, but his clients, he just asked them to pay to I think it was like a children's hospital charity or something like that. So, you know, I thought that was lovely. Brad from Copper Creek Cuts often does free ones. I think the question is less about doing them for free, but more the formula that I use. In fact, that's the word that Greg said. The formula being I do them regularly, and I've made a point to incorporate the YouTube revenue into my business as a means to work for people that need it so they don't have to pay. I believe that trend started right here, so I think that's what he meant. Yeah, I'll claim that. But what do I think of everyone doing it? I think it's fantastic. I can't get enough of it. First of all, the content's great. Like, I love watching the overgrown yard transformations, and it's, you know, I want everyone to do that. This is what life should be about. Everybody should be helping people where they can. And ironically, some people have taken this formula and done, you know, their channels have exploded, you know, 3, 4, 5 times as large as mine. And some of these channels had next to, you know, much less subscribers than when I first did my first free cleanup job. So yeah, there's obviously an appetite. There's obviously an audience for this YouTube formula, and it's one of the, I guess it's just like anything, you know. You can come up with something, but it doesn't make it yours. So this one is from Rachel Connolly. G'day, Rachel. How are you doing? So my question is, what is the kindest thing someone has ever done for you or your family? If anyone has been subscribed to this channel since I did my very first free cleanup job back in January last year, and back then it was free because I wasn't monetized yet, and I didn't expect to become monetized. So, you know, that was definitely a pleasant surprise, and it was as a result of that 3-part video series that actually, you know, prompted this channel to become monetized, which then I was able to think, hey, let's do it regularly, and, you know, now we're here. So in that video right at the end, actually, before I go on, I will talk about that video, because that's the one that started it all. Now, if anyone doesn't know what I'm talking about, it's actually a 3-part series of this lady's front yard that I cleaned up for exactly the reason I just described earlier. I drove past, I saw the state of it, decided to check in on her. Turns out she was recovering from cancer and had a few family issues, and her life, you know, she needed a hand. And so at the time, the trend on YouTube for the lawn care niche was, how much money can you get? Like, all the thumbnails and captions and all that were like, oh, you won't believe $60 for 15 minutes work, and, you know, things like that. Things are, you know, they'll kind of, look how much money I can make in such a little time, and people were very interested in that. So when I did that first one, I wanted to subvert expectations. I didn't put anything in the title or the description or the thumbnail. I just said, you're not going to believe the crazy amount that I charged, or something like that. And it was at the very end, I revealed that I did it for nothing. I explained the reasons why. And yeah, but also in that, at the end of that video, when I was having that conversation, I mentioned how I have in the past needed help. And I mentioned it again when I did the follow-up to that video a few months later. Now, this help that I received, it was actually by the family of a person that you will know if you've been following this channel for a little while, and that is my off-sider William. Yeah, that little ginger-haired kid. He's not a kid, he's my age, but anyway, like a brother to me. Been good mates since, you know, high school. So I had a pretty staggered childhood and upbringing, and I found myself without anywhere to live as a 16-year-old. In the end, I had to relocate down to my grandparents' place. But prior to that, during the kind of disruptive couple of months that I was having, I found myself spending a lot of time at William's house, and his family just opened their arms to me. I'd never felt respect like that from people I lived with. It was, and in hindsight, that's just, you know, how normal families treat one another, with love and respect, you know. So I laugh because yeah, because it was a new concept to me at the time, and I still feel it right here. You know, that how it made me feel at the time. I've told William this, so now I'm telling you, and that is hands down the best thing that anyone's ever done for me. Is when Will and his family, they took me in, no questions asked. I was always welcome there, even after I moved down south with my grandparents. I'd still come up, you know, during the school holidays and all that, and I'd just stay at their place. And they would just put me up for weeks on end, and like it was nothing, like it was just, you know, a brother coming home, you know, just to come home and stay with them. There was nothing to them to do that for me, but it was everything for me. Yeah, and I've never stopped forgetting that. So this one is from Georgia CH. G'day Georgia, how are you? Thanks for your question. What's the most shocking thing you've discovered hidden in the tall grass / brush? Well, honestly, if you've been following this channel, nothing shocks me anymore. That said, whenever I uncover a path that I had no idea was there, and sometimes they're much bigger than I thought they would be, that's always a shock. But yeah, I found numerous things. I found a freezer, I found lawnmowers, yeah, like I said, I found paths. It's just so many things that just Mother Nature reclaims. It just gets hidden. The second part of this question, how has the success of your YouTube channel and charitable work positively impacted your life? Well, I'll kind of explain, you know, how I am now since I've been doing YouTube. And it's definitely cemented the concept of being compassionate first and foremost, and asking why instead of pointing fingers and saying yuck, or how could you do that? How could you let that happen? Etc. etc. They're common sort of questions that I get from people. The short answer is I am now way more disgusted with people who are judgmental. Way more disgusted. There's no need for it. It's hateful and hurtful. And what does it achieve? What does your judgment achieve? Nothing. So this one's from Emily Gildy or Gildo. Sorry if I mispronounced your last name there, Emily. Thanks for the comment. So she goes, as an ex-serviceman, would you consider teaming up with a veteran support service to assist with lawn care for ex-military members who may have been injured or suffer from PTSD? Of course I would. Of course I would. I've actually, after reading your message, Emily, I did Google if there were any of those types of organisations in my area. There are a couple that I could get in contact with, but I wasn't too sure. I'm going to do my research, you know, just see if they are kind of the thing that would achieve what you just said. But yeah, it's definitely something that I'm interested in doing. So this one is from Melanie Woods. G'day, Melanie. My questions are about your personal life. Are you married or have any kids? Yes, I have been married for quite a while now. How long? I got married in 2011. How many years is that? This is 11 years this year. Yes, I have 4 kids. My eldest 3 are girls and my youngest is a boy. What are some of your hobbies and interests? I used to have a lot of hobbies. Believe it or not, I like the sort of creative arts type stuff. I play guitar, though not as much as I used to. I enjoy doing pencil sketches. I enjoy writing. I'm looking into enrolling into a creative writing degree. Even if I don't complete the degree, I'll just, you know, complete a few modules and you know, learn a thing or two because I really enjoy writing. What else? I play a lot of video games. I play with my kids. So one of the games I play with the kids is Rocket League. Don't know if anyone's seen that. It's just this fun game with a little rocket car and a big ball. And it's just kind of like soccer with a ball. It's pretty fun. Soccer with a ball. Soccer with a car is what I meant to say. And yeah, you know, shoot 'em ups, and I like strategy games, you know, Age of Empires and Total War, and I'm a big Battlefield fan. I play Fortnite with my boy. Yeah, so big gamer, love movies, love TV, big nerd, love Star Wars. Yeah, and the other hobby, of course, I'm in the shed, swinging spanners on broken old lawnmowers, and yeah, that's about it. That's what I do for fun. So this one is from Keith Keziah. G'day Keith, how are you, mate? Would you ever consider coming to the States and collaborating with the lawn care Juggernaut? That would be an awesome video. I'll let you guys come to the conclusion on this one. I'm just as likely to go and work alongside Kevin as he is to come down here and work alongside me. That's it. I really hope it happens one day. This one's from Joe and her cat. G'day Joe and her cat. If your YouTube income grew enough to support it, would you ever decide to do all the lawns and cleanups as 100% free of charge? Or would you keep it as you have it now with paying customers and charitable work separate? Oh look, truth be told, if I could earn enough and do this work exclusively without having to charge people and just make that my target audience, I'm only going to work for people that don't have the means financially, medically, whatever it is. Absolutely, yes, absolutely. I get so much more joy out of doing that work for people than I do just my regular mowing run. That's not to say I dislike my regular mowing run and my clients. I love my regular mowing run and my clients. It's a great job. But you know, the question was pretty clear. If I could do one over the other, the answer is yes, I would. I don't think I have goals to do that yet because, you know, I still do enjoy having clients, and YouTube can be a little bit hit and miss financially. So yeah, it's not really something that I've entertained as a realistic sort of, you know, goal, but never say never, and you never know what the future holds. Now here's a good question, a bit more practical. So this is from Stacey Rice. G'day Stacey. So my question would be to highlight your mowers when you use one over the other, their pros and cons. All right, so you've seen Big Red, Queen Vic. She comes out for the really overgrown stuff that just needs to be slashed down. These days I find myself using the Skag a bit more for those types of jobs. Not to say that Queen Victoria is retired. Far from it. I actually am working on a video for the Aussie Restorer. That's my other channel, the Australian Restorer, if no one here has seen that. Yeah, so Queen Vic is going to get a bit of an upgrade, and yeah, hopefully see her again in some coming videos. Obviously, smaller yards, I'll just use my push mower these days. I use my Toro 21-inch, you know, more than my 20-inch Victor or the Rover. Used to see my Rover quite a lot. But yeah, that mower, the Toro, just outdoes them, so I prefer it. And yeah, so that's for smaller yards or ones that I can't fit the ride-on in, which is a lot. Out of the whippersnippers, they all have different uses. So my KM 131, whenever that comes out, that's usually to blast through some very, very heavy stuff that I know is going to take me a while. Like if you need to clear out a whole sort of corner section of a yard, I'll just go in there and, you know, buzz away with your thing because it's very powerful. For most of my jobs these days though, you may have noticed in the last few months of my videos, it's been, you know, my battery operated gear, which yeah, is more than capable, and I like it because it's low vibration, so it's good for the hands. And you still need to wear Hearing Pro because when the whip goes around, you know, it kind of breaks that sound barrier, so you're hearing these very loud thunder cracks, kind of never ending, so it's very loud. I guess in line with that question, you can throw it back to the old work smarter, not harder type thing. So yeah, I'll always find the hardest way to do a job and film it. Whether I mean to or not, it just happens. So oftentimes I'll use equipment that might not be best suited for a particular job, but I don't care. Again, it's the end state that matters to me. This one is from Barbara Dawn Barrett. G'day, Barbara Dawn Barrett, how are you? Congrats for getting to the milestone. Thanks a lot. What does your family think of your popularity? Where did you learn your video editing skills? And I'm going to save this third part of this question till last. All right, starting with the first bit. What does your family think of your popularity? Well, the kids love it. You know, anyone with you know, kids these days, they don't care about TV anymore. They're not really even that into movies. It's all about YouTube. They're obsessed with YouTube and YouTubers. So I know that they like that their dad's a YouTuber. I've heard them say to their friends, yeah, my dad's a YouTuber. And whenever their friends come around, if I'm at the computer and I'm editing video, they're like, yeah, dad's over there. He's editing video for his YouTube channel. You know, things like that. They think it's pretty cool, and I like that. My wife, she's an angel and has been supportive of everything I've ever done. Simple as that. Yeah. So, and likewise, you know, we're a good team. Next question from Barbara Dawn Barrett. Where did you learn your video editing skills? Through trial and error. Barbara, trial and error. And this is the third one that I didn't want to answer just before. Is a hot dog a taco or a sandwich? Well, it's obviously not a sandwich, Barbara, because it's only got one piece of bread. Obviously not a taco, because it's not made out of, you know, that crispy, crunchy corn shell thing. So I'm going to have to create a third category. I'm sure someone's already created it, but just to answer your question, and suggest that a hot dog is simply a hot dog. This is from Mufasa888. G'day, mate. My question is this: what job did you do when in the military? So first and foremost, my main role in the military was a fitter armament. That's in the Corps of RAME. It's a Royal Australian Electrical and Mechanical Engineers. Basically, I got my fitter machinist complete trade in the army as a part of getting my fitter armament qualification, and basically fix weapons. Yeah, weapon repair guy, miscellaneous equipment throughout the army, turrets, anything that's not a vehicle or electrical gets fixed by a fitter armament. When I deployed, it was in a tri-service role, so the people were chosen from the Air Force, the Navy and the Army to perform specific roles, and I was one of those blokes. The other job I did was all call again. This just means any call, any job in the Army can do this, and that was a recruiting instructor. So if there are any, I know there's a lot of Americans in the audience, so you might be more familiar with a drill instructor. Now, the blokes with the hat and the angry faces and the big square jaw, they're yelling at recruits, and you know, these ones. I did that for a couple of years. I was good at it. Yeah, so that was a very different to swinging spanners in a workshop. So I've got a couple that have popped up periodically just in the comment sections, and I just thought I would answer them anyway, just because I'm here. This one's from Jesse Tanner. G'day, Jesse. I've often seen Jesse's comments on here. Hey, Sean. It makes me wonder, how much whippersnipper string do you go through in, say, a week? Now, obviously, because I use my trimmer to blast through some heavy stuff, dirt, edges, doesn't matter. I actually have no idea how much I'll go through. I just buy the big, it's a roll about kind of this big, and it's all big spool, and I just buy one of those every couple of months or when I need it. Now, here's one that makes me laugh, okay? Now, I say this with utmost respect to, you know, the understanding that people might be hard of hearing, and as such need subtitles on the videos. I struggle with subtitles because I have to type them out by hand for the most of the time. If you're not American, it doesn't like you and doesn't understand you. I'm being funny, obviously. When I say that, I just mean, yeah, it struggles to hear my accent and and produce subtitles. So a lot of the videos you've seen with subtitles, often I've had to type them in manually. It's very time consuming to do so, hence I don't always do it. And again, for the people that are hard of hearing, I do apologize to you for that, you know. But the reason I brought that up is because I have a few parochial viewers. It's very evident that they've never left their hometown. And so I get funny ones like this, and they're very emphatic. They're angry at me. They want me to know that they can't understand me. And I kind of cringe with embarrassment at people when they write this, so don't. And this is in capital letters from Tom Ortale or Ortal. Can anyone understand one single word he's saying? What's he saying? And so yeah, that is all I have time for this video, folks. Obviously, with all the weather, I'm not going to be able to get to some of the jobs, some of the follow-ups. Obviously, my previous 2 videos, they're 2 separate yards. They both have more work that need doing at them, which I have every intention of getting to. Yeah, definitely, could be a week, maybe 2 weeks away. Don't know. Wait and see. All I can say at this point is, once again, thank you so much for being you, for supporting the channel. And yeah, just keep being nice to everyone. Simple as that. See you next time.